Alrighty, we are live. I think. Should be. I can never tell if my internet just isn't quite good enough to load both at the same time, or if there's some kind of delay. Oh, yeah, no, we are live. I think. Yeah, excellent. Alright, well, welcome, everyone. If you're already watching, that's fantastic. We're going to go back to Sharoomph here, and I do finally now have the record past sessions broadcast setting turned on. So these will be saved for posterity or what have you, and I should be able to transfer them over to my YouTube channel, which I will provide as soon as I can figure out a way to make it not just, you know, completely disorganized. Anyway, here we have Sharoomph. Sharoomph the Executioner. He's a Minotaur, used the fighter background for this one. Which I like because it starts you off with a few points in armor, so you can use a wider variety of the equipment that you find early on than you might otherwise be able to. What else? Oh yeah, I was gonna drop this this cool sword. We went way out of our way to put 16 points into Longblades to try and use that cool sword, and turned out to be just really annoying. It's cool in that you get to kill things and raise them as zombies under your control. Not so cool because it also just randomly raises the dead hostilely towards you. It raises hostile undead just from whatever corpses happen to be around. So you end up fighting a lot of unnecessary zombies. What else are we working with here? Oh, I think we had some cloak questions. What are we wearing? Oh, right, yeah. -2 cloak with double resist cold versus a +2 cloak of poison resistance. Means we could swap out that ring mail for another armor. Sorry to do maintenance at the beginning of the stream, but for new viewers, it sort of shows off a little bit of what we have available to us. And it needs to be done at some point. I think I was just really tired last night and I didn't want to crunch numbers. Okay, so we have this gold dragon armor. That's kind of what I want to go for, except that our amulet gives us, or our hat rather, gives us resist poison, and we have no reason to get rid of this hat. We haven't found anything even remotely close to as good as this hat, which I believe was a scroll of acquirement find. Our 4th scroll of acquirement gave us something useful. The first 3 were worthless, I think. Anyway, Gold Dragon armor is a very efficient armor. It's very, very heavy. It kind of passes the threshold of having reliable evasion, but you know, that's fine. Evasion becomes more occasional free hit points rather than a reliable method of avoiding heavy attacks. So you have to go about combat a little bit differently. But yeah, we don't really need... Okay, so if we wore the gold dragon armor and this -2 cloak, that would significantly increase our armor class, decrease our evasion, but it would put us at exactly max in... Keep us at max in cold. Our boots we have no reason to change out, and that's 1 pip of our fire resistance. It would let us switch weapons. Because 2 pips of that fire resistance is on our axe. And okay, so if we swap the gold dragon armor out for our current chest piece, it drops net 1 resist cold, so we're still, yeah. What weapon would we be using? Not this war axe. Maybe the executioner's axe. Give up our shield. Nah. I don't even know if that's better, though. Let's see. Okay, so we have, let's just pick that up and check it out. So we have, oh dear, I have to check chat. I didn't get that set up. I really need to get a more permanent setup than I have here, but, you know. Time, money. Time is money, friend. Okay. Base damage 18 plus 6. Base damage 11 plus 11. Okay, so it is more damage. It is flaming, which is fine. Yeah. The shield is just so nice at this point in the game, though. There are a lot of missile attacks from things that you really don't want to, you know, be hit by. I think with Shields of Reflection you can even block some bolt attacks. Maybe I'm incorrect about that. But yeah, I think what we have now is better. Which means we don't really need to if we find a better one-handed weapon, then we can swap things around. But until then, I think it's better to just wear this +2 cloak of poison resistance. The resistance doesn't do anything, it's just a straight armor class increase. But we dropped a little bit because we switched to that ringmail. And we still have 2 pips of resist cold this way. The third is not particularly necessary outside of like Pandemonium, I would say. Or is it? Which of the hells is it? There's Tartarus, the Iron City of Dis, Cocytus, and Gehenna. Gehenna's fire. I don't know. One of the hells has a very cold place. It's a very unpleasant place. But we do have a ring of cold resistance on hand if we need it. So that's an interesting setup that we can switch to at a future point if we choose. If we ever want to get rid of this shield primarily for more damage, if we find a bunch of enchant weapon scrolls, get the oh, I wanted to try something. Yeah. Never mind. +9. Okay. So 3 more scrolls, and it's maximally enchanted. And I was reading something the other day, really interesting, which is that your strength and everything is multiplicative of the base damage and not the damage bonus. So the larger weapons have a slightly bigger impact than they might otherwise seem on paper because of math. Okay, alright, so I think we know more or less what we're doing. I always like to take stock of everything right at the beginning because I feel like by saying out loud most of what you're carrying around, it helps you remember what your options are when you get into a pinch. You're like, I was just saying something about that earlier. Oh yeah, I can use the yada yada to the blah blah blah. Gonna get rid of the Stone of Tremors, and I think the Disc of Storms. We're not walking around with electricity resistance normally, which is probably an oversight. But to my knowledge, the only source of it we have is this amulet, which is not as good as our other amulets. Plus, it's just more resist cold. Well, I guess actually that would be a useful resistance at this exact point. Clarity is just so good. And the giant magic resistance boost of this one is just really hard to pass up. So if we get into a situation where we definitely need a third pip of cold resistance, we can use that amulet or our ring. Just depending on how saucy we're feeling. I don't think I need this many rods. I don't think I need the +1 rod of clouds. I'm finding that I don't use them for enough turns to justify them taking up 3 slots in my inventory. For 1 additional rod use, plus swapping to it, yeah, not worth it. Okay, I think I'm also going to get... I don't want to get rid of the Wand of Lightning. It can be pretty useful, actually. I wonder if there's... I don't know for sure, but I wonder if there isn't some interaction between lightning and the thunderclouds that form around us. Like if it creates an automatic strike of lightning, because that's what they do. They periodically strike with bolts of lightning, the hapless inhabitants. I do like the File of Floods because of the terrain-changing effect, and the Lamp of Fire because of the sort of more or less guaranteed directional damage effect, AoE damage, bolt style. Okay. I do apologize if this video is a little twitchy. It's just very, very cold. It's at about 20 degrees Fahrenheit, or like minus 10 Celsius or so. Yeah. That's a very fast and loose guesstimate. Okay, alright, so onward and outward. Where are we going? What are we doing? We've cleared all of the dungeon, the elven holes, the spider's nest, the crypts. We didn't bother to stop into the temple. We found our god very early on, Kozlal the Stormbringer, or Storm God, I don't know, Storm Deity. Cleared all the lair. We have not ventured into the slime pits yet. We do have an amulet of corrosion resistance, so we could make that an option. And we might at some point, if we find that we're underleveled, come, yes, let the forces of nature all tear it down. Tear it all down. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We also get some really neat name, like, what is it? We are the end of an era. We're just... I don't know, that seems pretty cool. I like the idea of this giant minotaur with lightning crackling from his horns and wearing a jaunty little hat to the side. Anyway, for now I think we're going to go back to the depths. Let's go to level 3. Oh no, a bat. Yes, please stop me out of concern for my health. It is potentially impossible for a bat to damage us at this point. I don't know for sure. Between guaranteed damage reduction from our armor and our actual armor. I mean, it's 1d armor class for the damage reduction from armor. I found a gate to Pandemonium. That's cool. I think we'd already discovered one of those, however. Yeah, somewhere up here. Alright. Ooh, this could be dangerous. What is this? Quicksilver Dragon. Alright, well, let's not use that staircase, shall we? Oh, we haven't even finished exploring 2 yet. Maybe we should do that? We are casting no spells on this character, so I am not bothering to pick up Rings of Wizardry. Giants. Not the best line of sight breaks here. We don't even know if there's anything over there. We don't know about in this room. So I guess really this corner is better than this one. We do get a hard corner there. But it's far enough away that I think they get to take some pot shots, and I think we're strong enough to... oh, well, these doors will do. That'll work just fine. Dodging at 8, it actually is doing something since we're wearing this ring mail, which is kind of nice. Gold Dragon, we already have the hide of one of your kin in our stash. Oh, Rakshasas. You jokers. Summoning illusions. Okay. Don't really need a ring of teleportation. Wouldn't necessarily say no to a ring of teleport control, however. A Spriggan Defender. And another Spriggan Defender. Lodgetangs are actually really dangerous. They are very hard-hitting and very fast. Well, let's use this cool little room. I mean, we can close this door, just one-shot them. That's fine by me. Quick Blades we are not concerned about. If somebody wants to try and use a Quick Blade on us, good luck. Hope you have it maximally enchanted. Hell Knights. What do Hell Knights do? I remember they're kind of strong for this point in the game, but not that bad later. Okay, no, maybe not kind of strong. We are really strong, though. It's up to the very young maiden to rescue the dragon from the fire-breathing knights in Sharoomph. Not familiar with that one. Is that one of the Aragon series? Maybe? I don't know. I digress. We have a Hell Knight to kill. Big ol' mace. Not too impressive. Fighting skill up to level 23. That's nice. Getting close to max. We have 235 hit points. That's pretty good. I think we'll end up with 275 or so. I think. Could not tell you for sure. We have been flayed. Feel what I felt, it says as it does nasty, nasty things to our body. Okay, there we go. All healed up. It's only temporary damage with the flayed ghosts, despite how not temporary it appears. That's right, they can go all hasty. The annoying thing about humanoid creatures is that they really can... level 25. Neat. 243 hit points. Even if the monster itself is really weak, if they happen to pick up some crazy powerful weapon, it can get you regardless. They can use artifacts too. Fortunately, they are still delicious. Golden enchant weapon. Okay, so our cool Executioner's Axe is almost getting ready to be usable. I don't need to chop that up. Whoa, this is a cool treasure trove. What is this? What is this? What is this? A manual of fighting. Sure, I'll take it. +4 bonus. Help us get those last few levels faster. It just makes our experience gain much more efficient. In fact, let's focus fighting now that we have that manual. Yeah, that seems good. Because dodging is low enough level that even just a 20% increase is a pretty significant benefit. It's going to increase reasonably rapidly, and we are going to get a reasonably steep power spike from that. Shields, I just want to keep on so that we can keep using this amazing large shield of reflection. Axes, I want to get to 26. I don't really care about 27. I may not even train it up to 27. Because at 26, the Executioner's Axe is at minimum delay. I will probably train it up to 27 at some point, but I think fighting is a higher priority now. It's like fighting between 23 and 27 is maybe equivalent, depending on the weapon, to 26 to 27. Its skills grant you benefits in a linear fashion, even though they grow an experience requirement in a non-linear fashion. Fine ring nail. Okay, well, we'll try anything once. But we'll try that on after we're done clearing the level. We could go up a level, but then things wander around, and we don't know what's clear and what isn't, and I prefer to have some say in that matter. Just kind of attacking haphazardly here. I think we are defensive enough that as long as we keep it to 2 monsters at a time, we can win most fights in the depths. Unless one of those monsters is an Ancient Lich, or a Gold Dragon, or... not sure what else. Pardon me, I really do have to turn the heat up in here, so... Alright. It is not below freezing in my room, but it feels like it. It feels like it a little bit. Okay. Oh, those were interesting gloves that could potentially be better than what we're wearing. Now let's just eat a slice of pizza. An ancient spear. Polearms is one of the things that we have free cross-training for. It is one-handed weapon. It grants us reach, which can be relevant. Did we even pick up those gloves after we cleared out our inventory? Probably not. Yeah. Okay. We have an empty space in our inventory. That's odd. Alright, we'll just drop some rotting flesh. Grab these. These we can go ahead and try on. I'm not worried about being caught in the middle of switching gloves. Ooh, +1 pair of gloves of strength. Okay, so the challenge that I set for myself for this particular run, I wanted to win at least a 3-rune run with only putting points into strength voluntarily. I don't know if that holds true to strength items that I find, because right now I'm using Gloves of Dexterity, or, prior to trying these on, I was using Gloves of Dexterity, and that would be definitely better for us. We want, I think we want that dexterity. Just for the evasion, if nothing else. Okay, we're at 33, 18, and 33. (32, 19, and 33). Okay, so it really is just 1 point swing one way or the other. Our weapons are going to be weighted more heavily towards strength, just because that's what we're wanting to do, but that really only holds true enough that matters when we're using the big two-handed ones, like Executioner's Axe, or if we decide to train over into Maces and Flails or Polearms. The Polearms, I don't know that we'll really want to train it at this point, but I do want to try out this spear. That's good. We don't care about the intelligence. We are Minotaur. We don't care about intelligence. But the fact that it's double resist cold and resist negative energy is really cool. And the +6 is fine. It's only 12 total damage as opposed to like 22, so it's really not a strong weapon. But it is an option. It does give us a non-consumable ranged option. It gives us a reach option. So we can hang on to it. We can make our inventory slightly more difficult to manage for it. And the manual and all that jazz. Allowing centaur barding. I always feel like I get cheated a little bit when I find magical stuff that I can't use. Even though it's completely absurd, because centaurs have a much more difficult time with that than minotaurs, which have no armor restrictions. Okay, a lich deserves some respect, but not a lot by itself. Unless maybe there are a bunch of corpses around. Another gateway to hell. All of the gateways to hell. Ooh, there's our ziggurat. I do love ziggurats. They're just really cool. I forget what it is that you need to open one. I think it's just a lot of... Oh, I think you need maybe a bunch of runes now. Where are they? Oh, it can only be entered when carrying at least 3 runes of sod. Okay, so we could in theory enter it. What is the flavor text on this one? Captain, take off every zig for great justice. I don't get that reference, unfortunately. I don't know what Zero Wing is. Or who the captain is. I'm very sorry. Okay, and we would need a way to get through translucent rock, I guess? I don't know if Wands of Digging do the trick with that. Oh, they do. Okay. So we could go into the ziggurat at some point, if we're feeling really greedy and somewhat suicidal. 27 layers of crazy. Non-stop crazy. It doesn't get less crazy as you go. I think one level that was particularly terrifying was one that had upwards of 30 Pandemonium Lords. I did not enjoy that. It was very nearly my death. Well, it was my death one time, I think. The very first one that I tried. I did eventually conquer a ziggurat, which felt really, really good. Once you can conquer one ziggurat, you can probably do more on the same character. I feel at that point you're just doing them for fun, or to completely min-max your character, find that specific artifact that makes you stronger than any other character that can completely crush the game. Or I suppose maybe in tournaments there's a score system. I mean, like a top scoring system or score per turn or something. And if you can really just rush down ziggurats, you can potentially just crush your opposition. They're kind of a win more thing. Like, there's no rune in them. There's no... there's our friend the Quicksilver Dragon. Playing very fast and loose here, actually. I should stop for a second. I'm actually doing things without thinking about it. What character was it? It was Granite Grant. He was a gargoyle monk to start off with. And I found Chebriados, and it was just a match made in the dungeon. Just massive, massive stat boosts. The videos are on... I think I've uploaded all of those videos of that run on my YouTube channel, which as soon as I can figure out how it not to be just my real name, I'll do that. I mean, I don't really care if people want to search it down, but if I'm going to link to it from a Twitch channel, I feel like I should have at least a veneer of privacy. And please don't take that as discouragement from checking it out yourselves. As it currently is, I'm just not going to link it until I get that changed. Or I can like re-link the videos. I'll figure something out, because I had a lot of fun that run. And I'm glad that I think I started recording it in the layer. I don't think I got all of it. But enough that the only thing that you missed was the painful starting stages of the game where you go through 4 just stupid deaths and before one takes. And I do enjoy recording those too sometimes. Generally, for me, those are demon spawn. I just dive into the dungeon and die a bunch of times until I find one with a mutation that's cool enough to keep. Not dying on purpose, but just not finding the right gear, not being strong enough. Yeah, go ahead and ignore it. What do we have here? Just glowing ring mail. That's not too exciting. Wand of Cold is okay, I guess. This is an interesting choice. Do I kill the Fire Giant or the Emperor Scorpion first? The Fire Giant, I think, can do much more damage, and is probably actually easier to kill. Oh, you know what I can do? I can do a character dump of Granite Grant. I can do that on the GIT hub. Wow, I sounded really old just there. That's how I feel when I hear someone say the interwebs. Gosh. Norris! Norris the Nihilist. A relaxed peace-in-death cultist with a healthy tan and a soothing voice. He doesn't really care if it is you or him who dies. Both would probably be the best option. Yeah, he's actually really strong. Makes me very glad that I have our Amulet of Clarity on. Yeah, that's pretty good nihilism right there. Death and death alone gives meaning to life, and this meaning is entirely negative. I gotta love philosophy. Whee! Anyway, the not philosophical thing that we're dealing with now is Norris, who doesn't really have anything too crazy. Smiting is a little bad. I do want to handle him from a position of staircase. Or do I want to do it from this corner of things? Yeah. Let's do it from here. All this does is it puts a blank scroll at risk if we need to escape. I think... Well... Okay, this will work just fine. I just didn't want to walk across the room towards him there. He was really not very impressive. We are just really strong, though. Oh, yeah, I never did decide this gloves issue. We can actually just drop these gloves of strength until we need them, and then we can come back and get them. I'm not really concerned that they'll be slurped up by a slime or anything. I don't care about them that much to worry about hanging on to them. I don't need to switch them out on the fly, certainly. Okay. This has been a pretty reasonable sort of gear check for us. A check that we passed. Because this was a pretty strong depth level, I feel. A pretty high-powered depth 3. Depth 3. That's pretty tough to say. Depth 3. I want to clear the depths. I think that is doable. I have an hour and a half or so. I really want to ascend sometime this week if I can. I don't know how long or even if I will be able to stream tomorrow. I think I will be able to. Axes are just really nice sometimes. Oh, that's right. Iron dragons are really painful. Okay, do we need to consume a resource? And if so, do we need to consume a reusable resource, or how much do we want to devote to this fight, basically? Why don't we try reading the Scroll of Fear? Because it's kind of wasting space in our inventory if we don't. The Sphinx looks frightened. The Iron Dragon... Oh, it did work! Okay, well. I'll take it. Let's breathe fire, which I always forget to do. That was a beneficial mutation potion. Okay, yeah, I think that was the correct... Is that a... Wow, +10 Sword of Jihad. Grants random rage, but it's a holy weapon with a bonus to evasion. That's kind of cool. That gives us some purpose, again, to having trained long blades if we get into a situation where we really need a holy weapon. So I think that's better than the holy war axe or something that we have. Probably. It's only like a +4 war axe. But that's a really cool, I would assume, non-random artifact. Let's just go ahead and identify this right now. We have so many scrolls to identify. And we have identified, I think, yeah, all but 3 of the potions. And if the next one we find happens to be resist cold strength -3. Okay, that's not worth keeping. So we can replace that with this neat sword. What rings do we have left? I don't know if we care about any of those, but we should probably identify them just for the fun of it. This we'll just try on. Ring of Magical Power. Don't care. Don't care at all. Okay, so we want to drop that for sure. Probably drop the Amulet of Stasis. Really, we can probably drop this Ring of Protection from Cold. I think we're going to be fine. Yeah, that sword seems kind of cool. Probably not what we want to use for the tomb, however. Though the stealth issue isn't really, or the stealth penalty is not an issue for us. We are already really unstealthy. Okay, we have a better Amulet of Warding than just an Amulet of Warding. So we'll drop that as well. Okay. Onward. That cleared up a little bit of space. And if I accidentally left behind something, it probably means that we're okay without it anyway. Doop-de-doo. It's a trap. Oh, torpor snail. I was like, how are we slowed? Yes, torpor snails are a relatively new addition. Oh dear. We bump into a lich who summons the Brimstone Fiend, one of the most dangerous of the demons. Yeah, Hellfire, although that didn't do too terribly much to us, we are still going to retreat up the stairs, because Torment will do a lot to us. Negative energy sources might be nice. Yeah, we could try out our Holy Sword here. We are at minimum delay with it. What is it? As a base weapon, it doesn't say. Oh, a longsword. Okay. Made of one huge piece of crystal. Wow, it's actually really high damage. It's the Shining One's gift to a worshipper. The blade is notorious for inducing bloodthirsty rage in both the wielder and all of his or her mortal followers. That's cool. I'm a little bit tempted. It's actually more damage than our War Axe pre-skill calculation. I mean, it's a pretty big skill differential, but... Nah, because that's giving us a lot of resist fire. Never mind. I'll stop toying around with ridiculous ideas. Okay, so here, I think that... Okay, so we step here, he summons a demon there. We step here, the demon attacks us, which probably, I mean, may stay there. I don't know if it tends to move towards us. So we'd have to maybe take 2 attacks from a demon if we didn't want to fight our way through it. Alternatively, we can put on an Amulet of Warding. Warding resists negative energy. Yeah, let's do that. I don't believe that the Lich has anything that requires clarity. It's one of the Summon Greater Demon templates, so it's either Book 1 or Book 2. Which means there is a 50% chance that it can confuse us, and so clarity would be relevant. We have a ton of potions of curing, more potions of curing than we could ever need, though. So I think we will risk it. And we probably will resist it anyway. So yeah, let's put on... Oh, well, we do lose a lot of magic resistance. Oh, and our amulet already gives us resist negative energy. Well, I don't know. He may not even summon stuff. We'll see. We're also not wearing a second ring because I'm really bad at this game. Oh, that'll help. This negative energy ring. Cool. And magic resistance. We are really, really resistant to magic. More than capped, I think. Maybe just right at cap. Okay, cool. So if we can just step towards him and beat him up, we're fine. But summoning, summoning a Brimstone Fiend and then a Tormentor back-to-back seems a little rough. A little bit rough. Oh, we also have several random food items that we can consume. Ooh, I just used random improperly. I apologize. I hate it when I do that. Sparkling water used to be able to drink it and it would have the effect of a random potion. Wow, we are just so noisy. I think this seems like a reasonable place to retreat from. From whence to retreat? Yeah, we are just, as a result of this storm, loud enough for everybody to hear everywhere. Okay, we'll stair dance these guys. These guys are less dangerous than an Iron Dragon, which can trample us off stairs. Makes stair dancing very difficult. Very hazardous. This many things. This is fine. No monsters with displacement. I don't think Death Yaks can trample. Even if they can, I don't think that they're strong enough to trample us. I think we are pretty far beyond Death Yak capability here. Oh, right, our armor class is only 27 without that Ring of Robustness. That is a good thing to remember. Drained. I don't like being drained. There we go. I really like it when your life force is restored by killing the thing that drained you. That just feels right. Somehow. Fundamentally proper. Karmic. Alright, come on. We'll just announce our presence all over again. We hear roars and screeches. This position lets us attack several foes at once, or damage several foes at once with our axe, which I think is the best thing for us to be doing, honestly, with this weapon. And we should have been doing it more. Like, choke points are nice if you're fighting something that can kill you, which we rarely are at this point. If you're just, like, kill you in a couple of hits. If you're fighting a bunch of stuff that could potentially kill you in a lot of hits, however, it feels more damage efficient. I don't know. Better DPS to do it this way. I also could just be a little bit lazy right now. That is also a possibility. That is a dangerous possibility. If you're feeling too lazy to play Crawl, don't play Crawl. Do something else. Go outside. Exercise. It's good for you. I can say that because I did exercise today for 5 whole minutes. I went half a mile, or slightly under 1 kilometer. I say that with a little bit of anger in my voice, like I have something to prove. It's not a big deal. Fire giant, yes, yes, yes. That's all very well and good. Just had the worst allergies this season. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of complaining. I should correct my attitude. You know, you guys don't want to hear that. You want to hear about how we're crushing things in the dungeon. Yeah. We really are incredibly strong. Though we've... this seems like kind of a vaulty, scary place. Yeah, this is what playing lazily gets you into. I don't think this is too terrible, though. Let's just read a scroll of summoning. Both to maximize inventory efficiency and to provide us with a meat shield for us to run away. Scrolls of summoning, I believe, function similarly. Well, I don't know. They're either based on evocations, or they are affected by the level of the dungeon that you are on. Like, it summons things from... It summons creatures native to your current location. That is the function of shadow creatures, or... I don't know about monstrous menagerie. Seems fine, though. I mean, yes, there are a lot of creatures, but they're all creatures that we were fully capable of fighting, and in fact did fight many of just a few levels ago. Actually, more than a few. We've done much of the vaults. No, let's not walk into someone else's cloud of flame. We'll leave this beef jerky. Yeah, our clouds of flame pose no threat to us. Ooh, a distortion spear. We could, if we wanted to banish ourselves to the abyss, we could wield that. Actually, let's go ahead and pick it up, because it might be attractive to monsters, and we certainly don't want them... Wow, dragons? Are there only 4 levels of the depths now? Because this would make sense if this were the entrance to the Realm of Zod at the center of this level. I could totally see that. Alright, let's reevaluate here. I keep wanting to barge into this room like it's suddenly not going to have a lot of scary monsters in it. Which is definitely the incorrect choice. And standing in line of sight of too many things. Yeah, okay, alright. Playing better, still loose, but better. Rakshasas are not particularly scary on their own. Why do we care about the garnet statue? Or, not garnet. That would be a cool statue, but that is definitely a granite statue. Can't take it for granted. Ooh, goody. Another scroll of enchant armor for our... Oh, there's also a door there. Interesting. Scroll of enchant armor for our gold dragon armor. I think we're just going to run away here. I think we have the capability of running away. And we might as well. It feels like the correct choice to get back to a staircase to deal with some of these things. I just getting a bad vibe from the giant coliseum of evil things. Okay, what got to 26? Oh, we did. Huh, cool. Almost at maximum level. Very cool. Alright, now I can turn the heater back down. My apologies. I think I might have just shoved my butt into the camera. Ugh. Just really hard to balance the temperature and the humidity of the room. It is quieter now, though. I don't know if that is something you can actually hear, but makes it a little bit easier on my voice. What is that? Minus plus? I'm not sure what that means. Though this is a screen I've never seen before. That's kind of cool. You can edit your appearance. I have never seen this before in my entire time playing this game. I don't know if it's new or old, but this is really cool. Well, anyway, after that awesome discovery, sorry Maximus, I don't know what you mean by minus plus, but I will be happy to try to do that if you explain a little further. That would be fantastic. I always love learning things about Crawl. It's just so much fun that I don't ever want to stop playing it. It's great. I mean, there are times when I would prefer to play other games, but I'm almost always in the mood for Crawl. I'm not necessarily in the mood for Crawl where I'm playing a character that I actually care about. Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to walk into a travel excluded area in the middle of a level we haven't explored all of yet? We would not. Thank you, Crawl, for checking with us on that one. Let's kind of stay here and see if anything, like a lich, pops up. We don't have to worry about going unnoticed and waiting here forever because we are really, really loud. Thunder clouds are going off all around us in giant clouds of flame, and I don't know if clouds of frost would be something that is particularly loud when it comes into being, but I think Kozlol, I don't think Kozlol does anything by halves, so I would imagine that the cold clouds sounds like the air shattering and screeching like fingernails on a chalkboard. Okay, I think we've tapped out that area. Ah, Ashensari. Ashensari is kind of a cool god. Ooh, there's an ancient lich. Huh. And I even took one step too close to it. We still have the additional negative energy resistance, which is nice. But what do we want to do to it from over here? Let's do this. Let's wield a Rod of Clouds and use it. Ooh, out of range. I think I want to cast it anyway. like so. And then we're going to use our elemental force, our god ability. Oh, well, maybe that's not doing exactly what I intended for it to do. I was hoping that the... Oh, and we're wielding the Rod of Clouds still. Well, maybe we are stronger than I thought if bashing an ancient lich with a Rod of Clouds is doing just fine for us. Oh dear. Corrosion -3 brings our... One level of corrosion brings our armor class down to 19. That is crazy. Slime pits are going to be tough, even with resist corrosion. I guess this corner is better than none, sort of. Got greedy for that scroll of holy word. Alright, this is the other side of the giant monster haven. I feel like this has to be the entrance to the Realm of Zot, though. Let's do this. Let's drink a potion of haste. Back up a couple of steps. We are very glad that the gold dragon breathed poison, because even were we not already resistant to it, we have so many hit points that poison doesn't matter. Delicious, delicious dragon. Though only one chunk of dragon. No, I definitely want to butcher the Iron Dragon corpse. I live on a strict diet of dragon steaks. An Ifrit. I'm grabbing a cloak. I'm greedy. Okay, I'm not worried about the Ifrit. I am somewhat more worried about the demons. We have finished our manual of fighting and toss it away. We are pretty close to level 27 in fighting. That's cool. Yeah, this is coming along nicely. I think we'll be able to win. If we don't win from here, it's my fault. Not the game's fault. Actually, that's been true for some time, I think. Since probably the vaults. I feel like it's even before that. I feel like the layer really is where it starts to be just your fault if you lose. It's not, you know, you can have minimal gear and still survive. Solely at the whim of the game. I should not be just wandering into this room. Let's explore elsewhere first. Ah, aha! Our deity. No, I mean, this doesn't do anything for us. It used to be you could sacrifice things on altars of Nebelax, but I don't know if the altars actually serve any purpose anymore. There was, at some point in development, a merchant god or a merchant deity, which seemed really cool. Instead of piety, it operated off of gold. Like, you just paid it money, and you could get various things, like blessings, revealing the map, I don't know, stuff. And I thought that was really cool. I would like to see that come to fruition at some point, if they can find a way to balance it. I can see that really skewing the purpose of gold in a game. I mean, clearly it would anyway, but it would be difficult to have gold still have a purpose outside of just being deity fuel, like piety that you have to find if the god is too good, too powerful. I don't know. I'm sure they'll figure it out. What is that? Ooh, that's what we were hoping for. A triple crossbow. It's just such an absurd concept. And another legendary deck. I kind of want to just drop off this legendary deck with it. I don't know. Maybe I should carry around 2 legendary decks. Probably better than one of these things. Yes. Cloak of Darkness. That's the invisibility cloak, isn't it? Yeah. So it's bad. That's too bad. Yeah, we can ignore a scroll of brand weapon and a potion of flight. We'll just eat these fruits. This is somewhat wasteful inventory management, but I also don't really care. I mean, I'm not concerned about being able to find these things again, and so I have no compunctions about using them as or just dropping them around where I can just Control F, find things again. That was kind of a really long, mumbly sentence. Sorry about that one. Constriction is like drowning or what else? Anyway, damage. Oh yeah, no, I think it's just drowning and constriction, increasing damage over time. You can really end up in a tough spot if you let yourself be constricted or drowned for too long. Engulfed is the engulf is the debuff. Let's switch back to our crazy armor class ring. I don't know if it's better than a pip of resist negative energy, but I really like having the armor class. If we switch over to the Gold Dragon armor, or if we want to at some point, we will pick up these scrolls. I just don't want to run back to my stash, and I don't really want to figure out what I need to drop. A Moth of Wrath. Makes everything around you go berserk. At this point, I'm not impressed by just magical armor. It has to be an artifact for me to want to pick it up. Rakshasa, hi. Axes are kind of nice against Rakshasas, especially specifically for the fact that the area of effect often will kill the real one for you. You don't have to try and guess which one is the real one. No. I mean, those things are cool, I guess, but I don't really feel like this fight is going to need to take place right now. Yeah, like I said, if we need the Scrolls of Enchant armor, we can always come back and get them. In the meantime, we can move onward. Okay, cool. That is it. Okay, good. I still have 45 minutes or so. I bet we can finish this off. Finish off the depths. That was a really really strong level. A really deadly level. Not the most deadly that we've, not the deadliest that we've come across. Most deadly. What am I thinking? I used my brain a lot today. So it's a little bit worn out. Ooh, corrosion. But this way we have 30 armor class after one level of corrosion. I think that's much better than 19. Yeah, okay. Not bad. Draconians. A lot of Draconians in the... ooh, who is summoning these things? The Zealot, I would assume. Yeah, summon demon. If we start to have problems, we can read the Scroll of Holy Word, but I think we're okay. We have Mastered Fighting. Booyah. Oh. Alright, so fighting at 27. That's cool. We want to get access to 27 as well. Might as well. Now that we found a triple crossbow, we could consider training crossbows. I kind of want to get to a better gear situation before we do that, though. Invocations and evocations are still reasonably useful. Also, Draconians are an excellent source of cloaks. The Realm of Zot. I don't know if that's actually the Realm of Zot song. Maybe I'll write one. I should come up with some kind of background music. I need to figure out what is allowed as far as copyright. What you can or cannot use. I would imagine that like radio, like maybe Pandora or Spotify radio or something like that would allow you to play it in the background while you stream, as long as maybe you say what's playing it. I don't know. Streaming is a medium that I am not familiar with as far as copyright law. YouTube, it's pretty straight and dry. Pretty straight and narrow, cut and dry. Because that's a fixed medium. But broadcasting, it's, I guess, similar to television, although I am saving a broadcast of this. That would still be, yeah, that would be fixed medium. I bet Twitch has something on it somewhere, at the very least. So I don't have to actually look up the statutes. Not really what I want to do on my spare time. More of what I do during the day. Alright, so we have a mixture of sort of depthy monsters here. Once we get to the Realm of Zot, everything changes up. And in fact, now that I think about it, this may be appropriately strengthed. This depth may not have been stronger than others that I've been through. It's just been a while since I've gone through the depths. Or maybe I've just been surprised every single time I go through and I don't remember the next time. Regardless, in Zot, everything is different and everything is awful. There are many, many nasty things there. 266. So yeah, I think I'll be right on. I think 275 is what we'll end up with. 274 maybe. I'll hedge. Either 274 or 275. Okay. Do we want to just go to Zot? It's only 7:15. I have time to at least poke our heads in. I don't particularly want to do the slime pits right now. They're just gross. I also do kind of want to do a mini gear check and see if this is sufficient to survive the entirety of Zot. I think we're in a good spot. I could stand to have more negative energy resistance built into our kit, but I can't have everything I want. I do want to double check that we're wearing everything that we want to be wearing. This strength +4, dex +5 ring is negotiable. I don't have to be wearing that. I could be wearing... Ooh, we picked up an artifact ring somewhere along the way. Well, let's try it on. Lets us rage. It also gives us resist fire and resist negative energy. Okay. If we switch away from this axe, that'll be really nice. What else gives us resist fire? Oh, our boots, which are excellent. And we don't have any better boots. We don't have any boot alternatives. Haven't been to DSW in a while. Okay, so we do still want to be wearing the Ring of Robustness. I feel like the Ring of Robustness is a specific enough name, a topical enough name to be a non-random artifact. Like it's always +8 armor class and called the Ring of Robustness. But the optional Berserk is kind of nice. But, you know, I think we have another source of that, and we're just going to poke our heads. The lock glows eerily as we insert the barnacled rune. The silver rune touches the form of the door and sinks in, appearing to melt out of our hands, and heavy smoke billows forth. And with a peeling sensation, we leave the gossamer rune in a layer of skin behind in the third slot on the door, and the gate hisses and opens. There you go. You're welcome. Dinner and a show. Be here all week. Hate having to stair dance at an entrance. I just don't like having the option of another route. But, you know, what can you do? It does appear that we are reasonably well situated. No corpses, huh? It's a shame. I'm hungry. I'm very hungry. Thought I saw one drop a corpse. Excellent. Snacks are always nice. Whoa. He blinked us out of here. Alright, well, we'll do this the old-fashioned way. Hitting it in the face. Oh, right, is there still stuff we haven't identified? The spear. I don't particularly need to identify, it's just a spear of distortion with whatever else it has going on. But, you know, why not? It's Christmas! This is fire resist ++. Okay. So it's kind of bad, actually. Might as well drop it, in fact. And the other spear. I don't think I'm going to be using those, honestly. But, I mean, the reach really is nice. We'll keep this one. With our pretty high stats, I think that we're doing enough damage with it, even with its very low damage amount that we're going to at least get through something's armor, and there may be some situations where that's just the safest thing to do. Not the most exciting, but the safest. Death Cob. First of our Zot opponents. A dreadful undead cob of maize. Look, this one was probably a mistake. We're sorry. It's been that way as long as I can remember. But they're itty-bitty, they can run around, and they actually do a surprising amount of damage. And we are not taking much damage. We are pretty strong, it seems. I am concerned about fire orbs, but we do have max fire resistance. Ooh. Do we have resist mutation? Yeah, let's go pick that up real quick. Why it took us in that direction, not sure, but we'll eat a blast of Hellfire. 3 or 4. And then just carry on our merry way. Kill some Spriggans. One of them by headbutting him, just goosh. Oh, Minotaur. I don't wish to slay my brethren, but I will. No mercy. Besides, dude, you came at me. Poor taste. Probably really poor taste. Where are we going? Still to get this. Oh, yeah, that's right. Amulet of Clarity. We need an Amulet of Resist Mutation. Yes. Okay. Do we have it in our inventory? Yes, we do. Okay, excellent. Good. Alrighty, so now let's eat a slice of pizza. Some beef jerky. Keep our inventory down. We have, I mean, a ton of permafood. 13 meat rations, 9 bread rations. We're fine. I do like the unseen horror in a cage. Okay. I actually should probably stop streaming soon, but I will clear off this this first realm of Zot level. And thank you for watching, by the way. I actually don't have a counter on here, so I have no idea how many of you there are out there, or if there even is anyone watching in the first place. So, this may all be for naught. But if you are out there, thank you for watching. I hope that this was entertaining. I feel like I've been a little lower energy today than I normally am. Playing a little lazier for sure, which is not great. But you know, you can judge my mistakes as harshly as you wish, and please comment about them. There's a reasonable possibility that I will not have even noticed it, and I will learn something new, and that'll be cool. I will give you kudos. I will shout out your name. I actually don't have enough viewers, I think, that I haven't been able to give you all a shout out. I like to do that. And Tbuck153, pretty good for getting banished, and the slime pits also interesting. Oh yeah, because they're the eyes, those purple eyeballs that can cause mutation. Yeah, all right. So the slime pits really are something we don't want to do right now, because we would have to swap back and forth between resist mutation and resist corrosion. We don't have an alternative slot for either of those. Getting banished. I didn't know that. I guess, yeah, like distortion effects I don't know if resist mutation works with the spell banishment, if that is the abyss banishing spell that I'm thinking of. But yeah, for like high magic contamination, I bet I can see how that would work, because that causes mutation as well. So it's mutagenic energy. It's like radiation. It's fantasy radiation. We're rubbing like radium just all over our torsos. Or, you know, accosted by, wow, that's an interesting setup. I wonder. Okay, no, they're not all like that. That would be crazy. It's just like, oh, you know, there's a level 2, but you've got to go through level 3 first. That would be kind of cool. I mean, that's sort of what can happen in the Orcish mines, but not to that extent. Just quite. Want to check out all 3 entrances real quick. I know I keep saying that I'm going to stop, but I love this game so much. Ooh, and a pressure plate right away. Not many traps anymore. Just a handful here and there. That's one of them. My first really good run was back in version 0.10. It was with a mountain dwarf fighter, and I made it all the way to. I'm done exploring, by the way. I think that's the end of the substantive portion of the video. The rest of it's just going to be going back to our stash, doing some inventory maintenance, and me telling stories. So you're welcome to stick around, and thank you again for watching. But I will not at all be offended if you decide to leave. Though I do. Oh, okay. There, I can see how many. Okay, 7. Cool, 7 people. Wow, that's so neat. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it, guys and gals and others. But yes, I will not be offended if you leave at this point, because we'll just be, you know, what are we doing? Yes, back to our stash. Just doing some this and that. Anyway, I was within on my Mountain Dwarf fighter. I was within sight of the Orb of Zot. I was actually in the Orb Chamber, or just outside it, and I had just fought an Ancient Lich. I think maybe it was just an Ancient Lich. I don't know if I had come through more than one. I think it was one of those things where I just kept getting pulled into battles kind of involuntarily. Like there's no good escape route, and I had to sort of kill my way through. And also I wasn't nearly as good at this game back then, so it was also probably my fault. But I'd just gotten done fighting all this crazy stuff, and I came out on top, and I was like, okay, cool. I can grab the orb and get out of here. And without even thinking about it, I took one more step at like 66 hit points remaining, and I stepped on an axe trap, and it crit me or just hit me. I don't know if it's even possible to crit, or if it was back then, but it hit me for 70 damage, and I died. And I quit playing the game for 3 years. Justifiably, I think. Okay. No real situations in the Realm of Zot where we are going to need reach, I think. There isn't typically lava, just sort of stone halls. So I think we can get rid of that. I do like this sword. It will be the second sword of folly that we use. The second like toy that we're gonna try out. The first being that crazy zombie sword. This the +9 sword of Zongeldrock, which has the cool effect of raising zombies from some of the things you kill, and has the not cool effect of raising zombies from everything you don't kill. Or kill indirectly. Kill not with the sword, which is a lot of stuff. With our Kozlal worship and our various clouds of nastiness. Okay, I feel like we're just carrying way too many amulets. Resist electricity is something that we do actually need to have on us. we can get into positions where we're taking too much electrical damage, and we just have to have it. Like running into a gaggle of storm dragons or something. We have an amulet of a bad amulet of rage. That seems worse than a good ring of rage. Yeah, let's drop this. We don't need 2 sources of rage. I feel like the warding amulet is just not good enough to cut it. Like sometimes it's great. Well, we are going to be dealing with ancient liches. Never mind. They can summon level 5 demons, or tier 1 demons is what they're called. In the ASCII version, demons are represented by a 5 through 1. Well, I can't remember. I can never remember which one's tier 1 and which one's tier 5, going from strongest to weakest. One or the other. Anyway, I think it's 5 is the strongest, so maybe it's tier 5. Tier is one of those awkward ranking schemes where, you know, there's like top tier, but is that also tier 1? Or is tier 1 down here and top tier is tier 5? I don't know. I can't tell you. English is a strange language sometimes. Actually, that's not English's fault. That's just colloquialism kicking in and making things complicated. Doesn't have anything to do with the vocabulary of English. Aside from the fact that people would tend to use tier as that. Anyway, dropping other things. I feel kind of weird continuing to use this 8 armor class ring, but it's just so good. I mean, 8 armor class is like a whole nother chest piece. I don't think I need this ring of... what is it? Wafabludge? Wafabluge. I don't know. I don't need it. Okay, this looks a little better. Okay, scrolls. Where are scrolls? Do we even have a scrolls pile? I don't. I think I used them all. Oh, yeah, I do. I just also dropped this battle box. That should be in the weapons pile. Okay. Scrolls of enchant weapon. Is that it? Oh yeah, we found some scrolls of enchant armor, but we don't need this gold dragon armor yet. I think we found 4 or possibly 5 other scrolls, which is kind of cool. It's neat. We only have 1 potion of Cure Mutation, which is really scary. We do have a potion of Beneficial Mutation, so, you know, we can either try and use that to balance it out or recoup our losses with it. I don't need a Wand of Lightning, really, at this point. Wand of Cold, sure. But I don't think I need Lightning. Yeah. Cold... The nice thing about lightning is that very few things are actually resistant to electricity. Or, that's not true. Things that are really resistant to stuff like cold is often not resistant to electricity. But, I don't know, I feel like it's worth hanging on to. But I think that's about all the inventory stuff that we need to do. I could really stand to drink potions more often, but whatever. Oh, I suppose, as a little bonus for those of you that have actually stuck around to the very tail end of this video, I'll go grab this legendary deck of cards now that we have some space in our inventory and identify it, see what it is. Because I really should be using that kind of stuff. I mean, it's one turn total to wield the deck and switch back to an act, so you do have to leave yourself basically an extra tile in your planning. All right, we have a lot of scrolls. Without item destruction, it just you end up with so much more stuff. Another legendary deck of wonders with the first card being Alchemist. What does the Alchemist do again? I don't remember. Someone said it's maybe gold for it transmutes your gold into health or mana, and that sounds right to me, but I don't know for sure if it's health or mana. Hello, Mr. Dudrich. I'm actually just wrapping up this video, getting ready for a particular board meeting. And I have to do things like, pee. It's kind of important. Forgive my crudeness. How are you this evening? Doing well, I hope? Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm trying to find... Oh dear, what was I trying to find? Ah, yes, cards, right. Cards. Decks. Because our evocations is reasonably high. Yes, true. Maintaining fluids is important. Oh, and interesting, this article pertains to a future release of Crawl. Will be the first that I've heard of 0.16. That's interesting. Okay, I don't see anything about 0.16, but we have a deck of wonders, and the Alchemist is the top card. Interesting. Okay, so it could be any one of these, it seems. Oh, well, that's probably just... Subject of the first two. Oh, right. No, these are for different versions. Now that I'm actually reading it. So this is in 1.5. The Deck of Wonders. So we want this link to the Alchemist. So next is Dousing, and then Focus, and then the Helix. Oh yeah, the Helix is crazy. So yeah, so the Deck of Wonders is kind of risky because if you get Helix, which shuffles all of your stats around, you can just be in a lot of trouble. I think I may have had a Minotaur Berserker that I helixed into an early grave. Okay, Alchemist is... Okay, restoring gold for hit points and a small chance of also restoring mana points, except at the highest power levels, in which it restores mana points more frequently. Okay, cool. So those are basically 2 free health potions. Cool. Well, that's, I think, all for now. Let's see. Oh, good. Hope rehearsal went well. I hope people are doing well in chat. I've had a couple of people say hi, which is always nice. I love hearing from you guys. It's kind of exciting. It's like, hey, we're part of a little community here. Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup is awesome. But that being said, I do have to sign off for the evening. Well, okay. I'll make an excuse to do one more thing because it really won't take more than just a minute, and that's going to clear the ice statue away from the demesne of our god Kozlov. Okay, so let's try this. Well, that didn't go so well. Let's step here and let's wield our Wand of Ignition. I feel like that could do some reasonable whatnots. Yeah. Awesome. We have got our breath back. Boom. Awesome. Cool. Two things that we haven't used a whole lot of that all of a sudden were very useful. And we also could have stood... No, we could not have reached it with our polearm. That's fine. Okay, cool. So if we want, we can chug a potion of flying and go grab these things whenever we wish. And we can also actually finish exploring the level. And we shall stand on the altar of storms and sign off for the evening. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.